Summary of The Cask of Amontillado. A dark romantic tale of revenge, deceit, and murder, by Edgar Allan Poe, written and narrated by Janky Mind. Introduction. The Cask of Amontillado unfolds as a chilling narrative, delving into one man's meticulously crafted quest for vengeance against another who had slighted him. This tale weaves a narrative of cunning deceit, emotional detachment, and a calculated murder plot. Edgar Allan Poe's final days remain shrouded in enigmatic obscurity, a fitting end for the maestro of American macabre fiction. What is known is that on September 27, 1849, Poe embarked from Richmond, Virginia, en route to his New York City residence. However, he never reached his destination. Almost a week later, Poe, aged 40 at the time, was discovered in a state of delirium and extreme distress in Baltimore, Maryland. He appeared disheveled, unkempt, and utterly incapable of accounting for his actions since leaving Virginia. Poe was admitted to Washington College Hospital, where, in the early hours of October 7, he breathed his last. The sole witness, the attending physician, reported that during Poe's final night on Earth, he repeatedly uttered the name Reynolds. The true identity of this Reynolds remains an enduring mystery. The murky circumstances surrounding Poe's demise starkly contrast with the literary brilliance he produced in his waning years. According to critics, his later works distilled the themes, motifs, and concerns he had explored throughout his career into their purest, most concentrated form. To delve into his late narrative, The Cask of Amontillado, is to confront the quintessence of Poe, the author. It exudes a sense of claustrophobia, vivid luridness, and ultimately leads to a gruesome climax. If you're intrigued, then join our protagonists, Montresor and Fortunato, as they descend deep into the catacombs beneath Venice. Chapter 1: An Underground Tale of Retribution and Homicide. The Cask of Amontillado is a narrative driven by the thirst for vengeance. This fact becomes evident right from its opening line, as Montresor, a Venetian nobleman, explicitly declares that he has suffered an affront and insult at the hands of one Fortunato. Filled with a determination to no longer endure Fortunato's insults, Montresor solemnly proclaims, "I vowed revenge." At this early juncture of the story, readers are privy to Montresor's true motives, far more than Fortunato himself comprehends. What remains concealed, however, are the exact nature of Montresor's vengeance and the meticulous plan he has devised. The narrative's grim allure resides in the gradual revelation of Montresor's carefully orchestrated scheme. The setting is Venice, where dusk descends and the raucous carnival celebrations are in full swing. Venice has a tradition of carnival dating back to medieval times, during which Venetians don costumes and distinctive masks, occasionally shedding their inhibitions under these disguises. Montresor himself is concealed behind a somber black silk mask, while Fortunato revels in the vibrant attire of a court jester, complete with cap and bells. Montresor lures Fortunato away from the festive crowd with an irresistible invitation, a cask purportedly containing exquisite Spanish Amontillado sherry, though its authenticity remains uncertain. Fortunato prides himself on being a connoisseur of fine wines and is already somewhat inebriated when Montresor encounters him. Montresor, seemingly attempting to dissuade Fortunato from tasting the Amontillado, employs protestations in vain. Fortunato's determination only intensifies with each objection, and Montresor anticipates this very reaction. Ultimately, Montresor guides Fortunato to his palatial residence, where the two men descend into the damp vaults housing the wine. Here, Montresor has skillfully ensured their solitude by dismissing all servants for the night, confident that none will return from the carnival revelries until the following morning. The stage is set for Montresor to enact his revenge discreetly, but the precise form of his retribution remains enigmatic. Together, they venture deeper into the subterranean labyrinth beneath the palazzo, which Montresor alternately refers to as the family vaults and catacombs. These catacombs are underground burial chambers with niches in the walls for interring the deceased. Beyond mere wine storage, these tunnels are the ancestral resting place of generations of Montresors. While the exact nature of Montresor's revenge remains elusive to readers, a fleeting remark offers a potential glimpse into his motives. Fortunato comments on the extensive vaults. And Montresor responds in the past tense, suggesting that the Montresors were a great and numerous family. He also alludes to the family motto, Nemo me impune laces sit, translating to no one attacks me with impunity. Perhaps Fortunato's actions have wounded Montresor's family honor. As the two men press on into the vaults, Fortunato's sensitive lungs suffer from the damp environment and the presence of niter, potassium nitrate, deposits on the walls. Montresor exacerbates Fortunato's condition by offering him flasks of fine wine, which Fortunato accepts enthusiastically. As they delve deeper, Fortunato, far from fortunate, becomes progressively more debilitated, coughing, wheezing, and inebriated. Just as they approach their destination, Fortunato startles Montresor with a cryptic hand sign. Although Montresor perceives the significance of the gesture, he remains puzzled. Fortunato reveals that it's a sign used among members of the secretive Masonic Society. He queries if Montresor is also a Mason, to which Montresor responds by displaying a concealed trowel beneath his robes, seemingly implying his affiliation as a stonemason. Fortunato, believing it to be a jest, laughs, unaware of Montresor's seriousness. Soon, the true gravity of the situation will become painfully apparent. Montresor leads the intoxicated and jocular Fortunato into a crypt adorned with human bones on 3 walls. The 4th wall houses a recess, purportedly holding the Amontillado. As Fortunato ventures into the recess to retrieve the wine, Montresor swiftly shackles him to a rock. Fortunato appears perplexed, but not yet alarmed. Employing his trowel, Montresor begins sealing the recess with stones and mortar. It's only when Montresor has completed the first layer of masonry that Fortunato comprehends the impending horror. He pleads and moans, realizing his dire predicament, but it's too little, too late. Until midnight, Montresor continues building tier upon tier, sealing Fortunato in his living tomb. Just before placing the final stone, Montresor tosses a torch into the recess. All that follows is the faint jingling of the bells on Fortunato's jester costume, followed by chilling silence. The Cask of Amontillado embodies the quintessential Edgar Allan Poe narrative. Poe boldly sets the stage by revealing the story's end in its very first sentence. The reader immediately knows that vengeance is Montresor's aim, yet the precise form of this vengeance remains an enigma. In a sense, the story stands as an anti-detective tale, not centered on a whodunit but rather a howdunit. Suspense saturates the narrative as readers endeavor to unravel Montresor's scheme, watching Fortunato, unsuspecting and inexorably progressing toward his gruesome fate. One of Poe's recurrent and macabre motifs, that of live entombment, plays a central role in the story. This theme resonates in Poe's earlier work, The Fall of the House of Usher, where Roderick Usher entombs his seemingly deceased twin sister, Madeline, who later emerges alive, leading to her brother's demise. Similarly, The Black Cat involves a narrator entombing his deceased wife within his house's walls, only to be discovered when the cries of a live cat inadvertently entombed with her pierced through. Beyond physical claustrophobia, readers experience psychological confinement as the story is narrated in the first person by Montresor. This perspective offers insight into his conniving and malevolent thoughts. Throughout the narrative, readers are imprisoned within the mind of a man who orchestrates a cold-blooded murder with both grim satisfaction and a sense of artistic flourish. Interestingly, Montresor's true motivation for seeking vengeance remains undisclosed, leaving the impression that the murder might have been committed for sheer pleasure as much as for vengeance. Summary: The Cask of Amontillado revolves around Montresor's quest for vengeance against the unsuspecting Fortunato. The motive behind Montresor's desire for revenge remains shrouded in mystery, adding to the suspense that permeates the narrative.
As the two men venture deeper into the vaults beneath Montresor's mansion, readers anxiously await the revelation of the form Montresor's vengeance will ultimately take.
Under the pretext of sampling a prized wine, Montresor entices Fortunato into an underground crypt, where he swiftly immobilizes his victim by chaining him to a stone. Montresor proceeds to enclose Fortunato within the recess, one stone at a time, effectively burying him alive. This audiobook summary was brought to you by Janky Mind. We hope you enjoyed it.